You know, as we journey through life, gaining wisdom and experience with each passing year, something remarkable happens. We become more uniquely ourselves, more comfortable in our own skin. Yet, sometimes, without even realizing it, we can develop certain habits or ways of being that, while completely unintentional, might subtly affect our interactions with the people around us. It's not something anyone wants to talk about directly, because it can feel a little uncomfortable. A bit like pointing out something sensitive. But wouldn't you want to know if it meant you could feel even more confident, more connected, and truly live your best life every single day? The truth is, many of us, as we get older, might unintentionally fall into patterns that others notice but are too polite or loving to mention. These aren't major flaws or anything to be ashamed of, but rather little shifts that, if gently brought to light, can be easily adjusted for a profound positive impact on your well-being and your relationships. It's not about judgment. It's about empowering ourselves to shine brightest, to ensure that the beautiful light we carry inside truly radiates outward. In this video, we're going to gently explore 5 common areas where these subtle shifts might occur. And more importantly, we'll talk about simple, loving ways to not just fix them, but to genuinely enhance your daily life and connections. Stick with me to the very end, because I promise you, there's something important waiting for you that will change how you think about gracefully embracing every stage of life. Now, let's gently dive into the first area where we might unintentionally create a subtle barrier, and that's our personal presentation. It's easy to think that once we reach a certain age, worrying about our appearance becomes less important. We might prioritize comfort above all else, which is absolutely wonderful and something we've earned the right to do. However, sometimes, without us even noticing, that focus on comfort can lead to a slight neglect of the small details that make a big difference. Not just in how others perceive us, but profoundly in how we feel about ourselves. Think about it. A wrinkled shirt that's seen better days, hair that hasn't been tended to in a while, or perhaps a lingering scent that we've become accustomed to, but others might notice. These aren't about vanity. They're about self-respect, self-care, and the silent message we send to the world, and more importantly, to ourselves, about how much we value our own well-being. Life as we get older can bring challenges that make self-care a little more difficult. Maybe dexterity isn't what it used to be, making buttoning a shirt or styling hair a chore. Perhaps energy levels aren't as high, and the thought of doing laundry or taking a long shower feels overwhelming. Vision changes can make it harder to spot a stain or notice tangled hair. And sometimes, it's just plain old habit. We've settled into a routine. And it doesn't occur to us that a small adjustment could brighten our day and our interactions. But here's the wonderful truth. Addressing these small things doesn't require a complete overhaul or becoming a fashion icon overnight. It's about simplicity and comfort, with a touch of intentional care. Start by simplifying your wardrobe. Choose comfortable fabrics that are easy to wash and wear, requiring minimal ironing. Look for clothes in colors that make you feel good, that don't easily show everyday spills. Having a few go-to outfits that are always clean and ready can make a world of difference. Consider investing in comfortable shoes that are also clean and in good repair. Scuffed or worn-out footwear can unconsciously signal a lack of care, even if that's not your intention. When it comes to personal hygiene, maintaining a regular, gentle routine is key. Daily showering or bathing, even if it's just a quick, refreshing rinse, can boost your spirits and your freshness. Pay attention to dental care. Good oral hygiene isn't just about your teeth. It also affects fresh breath and overall health. Simple things like using a mild, pleasant-smelling soap or lotion can leave a subtle, clean scent that enhances your presence. For hair, consider an easy-to-manage cut that suits you and doesn't require a lot of fuss. A quick brush or comb can make you feel more put together in minutes. If mobility or other challenges make these tasks difficult, don't hesitate to enlist help. A family member, a friend, or even a professional caregiver can assist with laundry, hair care, or anything that helps you feel your best. Remember, feeling clean, fresh, and presentable isn't just for others. It's a powerful act of self-love that can profoundly impact your mood, your confidence, and your willingness to engage with the world. When you feel good about how you present yourself, you naturally exude a more positive energy, and that's something everyone notices and appreciates. Moving on from our personal presentation, let's gently explore another common area where unintentional habits can sometimes arise as we age. That's in our conversations and social interactions. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where you feel like you're doing most of the talking? Or perhaps you've realized you're telling a story, only to see a familiar look on someone's face that suggests they've heard it before. This isn't about being rude or self-centered. It's often an unconscious shift that can happen for many reasons. Sometimes, it stems from a deep well of life experiences, and we genuinely want to share our wisdom or cherished memories. Other times, it might be a subtle sign of loneliness, a desire to fill the silence, or even a little memory quirk where we simply forget we've already shared that particular anecdote. The challenge is that while our stories are precious and our experiences invaluable, conversations are a two-way street. When one person consistently dominates the dialogue or repeats the same stories, it can, however unintentionally, make others feel unheard, disengaged, or even a little tired. People might start to politely disengage, not because they don't care about you, but because they long for a genuine exchange, a chance to share their own thoughts and feelings. This can lead to a subtle but significant disconnect in relationships, where others might start to avoid longer conversations, or simply listen passively rather than truly engaging. So, how do we navigate this with grace and warmth? It begins with practicing what's called active listening. This means truly hearing what the other person is saying, not just waiting for your turn to speak. Try to make eye contact, nod occasionally, and offer verbal cues like, "Ah, I see," or "That's interesting." More importantly, ask open-ended questions that encourage the other person to elaborate on their thoughts and experiences, instead of immediately launching into your own anecdote. Try saying, "Tell me more about that." Or, "How did that make you feel?" Show genuine curiosity about their lives, their day, their opinions. This shifts the focus from you to them, making them feel valued and heard, which deepens the connection. Another helpful tip is to consciously aim for a balance in conversation. Think of it like a tennis match, where the ball goes back and forth. After you've shared a thought or a short story, consciously pass the conversational ball back to the other person. You can do this by asking a question related to what you just said, or by simply pausing and inviting their response. If you find yourself prone to repeating stories, try keeping a mental note, or even a small, private journal, of new experiences, interesting articles you've read, or recent events in your life. This gives you fresh material to draw from and keeps conversations vibrant and engaging for everyone involved. Remember, your stories are a gift, but the greatest gift in conversation is truly connecting with another person. And that connection blossoms when there's an equitable exchange of thoughts, feelings, and narratives. Now that we've talked about the subtle art of conversation, let's gently move on to another pattern that can sometimes emerge as we age, and that's falling into a rut of negativity or constant grumbling. It's understandable, isn't it? As we get older, our bodies might not cooperate like they once did. News headlines can be disheartening, and life can throw unexpected curveballs. It's easy to focus on what's wrong, what hurts, or what's frustrating. And sharing these frustrations can feel like a natural way to vent and connect with others who understand. However, when constant complaining becomes our primary mode of communication, it can inadvertently create a heavy atmosphere around us, subtly pushing people away. Imagine spending time with someone who consistently talks about their aches and pains, the terrible state of the world, or how things used to be better. While a little commiseration is healthy and normal, a steady diet of negativity can be emotionally draining for those around us. It can make them feel helpless, or as though their attempts to offer solutions or bright spots are futile. Over time, People might start to unconsciously avoid extended interactions, not because they don't care about you, but because it feels emotionally exhausting. More importantly, this constant focus on the negative isn't just tough on others. It deeply impacts your own spirit and well-being. It can trap you in a cycle of pessimism, dimming your own light and making it harder to find joy in everyday moments. So, how do we gently shift this pattern and cultivate a more positive outlook? It starts with mindful awareness. Notice when you're about to launch into a complaint. Pause for a moment. Is there an alternative way to express your feelings? Or can you find something, anything, to balance it out? One powerful practice is daily gratitude. Make it a habit to identify 3 specific things you're grateful for each day. No matter how small, it could be the warmth of your morning tea, a kind word from a neighbor, or simply the comfort of your favorite chair. Writing them down can be even more impactful. This simple act trains your brain to seek out the good, shifting your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. Another helpful strategy is to limit your exposure to overly negative news or discussions. While it's important to be informed, constantly dwelling on depressing topics can feed a cycle of gloom. Seek out uplifting stories, engaging documentaries, or lighthearted entertainment instead. Actively choose to spend time with people who have a positive outlook, who inspire and energize you, rather than those who reinforce a negative mindset. When you do encounter a challenge, try to shift your focus from simply complaining about the problem to brainstorming potential solutions, even small ones. Sometimes, a little humor can go a long way in deflecting negativity. Instead of a grumble, can you find a funny observation? Remember, cultivating a positive outlook isn't about ignoring difficulties. It's about choosing where to place your energy and attention. And in doing so, creating a more joyful experience for yourself and for everyone fortunate enough to be in your orbit. Next, we'll dive into a pattern that many of us, as we grow older, might find ourselves slipping into. And that's becoming resistant to new ideas or hesitant to ask for help when it's genuinely needed. There's a beautiful strength in independence and a lifetime of accumulated wisdom. And it's natural to want to hold on to that sense of capability. We've seen so many changes in the world, developed our own tried and true methods. And sometimes, the thought of learning something new, especially new technology, can feel daunting or even unnecessary, and asking for help that can feel like admitting a weakness, a step backward from the self-sufficiency we've cherished for so long. However, this resistance, while born from good intentions, can inadvertently limit our world and create unnecessary struggles. When we cling rigidly to old ways, we might miss out on incredible conveniences, new ways to connect with loved ones, or, even safer, more efficient ways of doing everyday tasks. Think about navigating a new digital device that could open up a world of information, or a modern appliance that could save you time and effort. Refusing to engage with these new tools can lead to frustration and a sense of being left behind. Similarly, a reluctance to ask for help, whether it's with a heavy task, understanding a complex form, or navigating a new system, can lead to unnecessary physical strain, mental stress, or even missed opportunities. Others often genuinely want to help and feel a sense of purpose when they can offer support. But if we always wave them off, they might stop offering, leaving us to struggle alone. So, how can we gently embrace a more open and adaptable mindset? It starts with curiosity. Even just a tiny spark. Challenge yourself to try one new small thing each week. It doesn't have to be monumental. Maybe it's learning one new function on your phone, trying a different route to the grocery store, or even sampling a new type of food. Approach it with a playful spirit, recognizing that learning is a lifelong journey. Remember, every single one of us, no matter our age, is constantly learning. Be open to suggestions from younger generations. They often have valuable insights into new technologies or approaches that can genuinely simplify your life. Ask them to patiently show you how something works. You might be surprised at how empowering it feels to master a new skill, no matter how small. When it comes to asking for help, reframe it in your mind. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom, self-awareness, and strength. Recognizing your limits and gracefully accepting support allows you to conserve your energy for the things you truly enjoy. Start small. Perhaps ask a neighbor to help carry a heavy bag, or a family member to explain a confusing piece of mail. Be specific in your request, and remember to express genuine gratitude. Most people are happy to lend a hand, and asking for help actually fosters connection and strengthens relationships, as it shows you trust and value others enough to let them contribute. By embracing new ideas and being open to receiving support, you unlock new possibilities, reduce stress, and continue to grow and thrive in a world that is always evolving, ensuring your life remains as vibrant and fulfilling as possible. Finally, let's gently explore the fifth pattern that can sometimes emerge in old age, one that can subtly but significantly impact our happiness and well-being, unintentionally drifting into social isolation. We often cherish our independence as we get older, and there's a natural inclination to, perhaps, slow down, stay home more, and enjoy the quiet comfort of our familiar routines. Friends might move away, loved ones might pass, and the effort required to maintain social connections can sometimes feel overwhelming. However, if this tendency towards solitude becomes too pronounced, it can lead to a quiet kind of loneliness, where we subtly, and often unknowingly, distance ourselves from the very connections that nourish our spirit. Think about it. Have you found yourself declining invitations more often than accepting them? Or perhaps waiting for others to always make the first move, expecting them to reach out to you? Sometimes, we might even unknowingly convey an air of unavailability or disinterest, making others hesitant to engage. This isn't about being antisocial. It's often a gradual, almost imperceptible slide, where the effort of connection starts to outweigh the perceived benefit. Yet, human connection is as vital to our health as good food and exercise. Social isolation can contribute to feelings of sadness, cognitive decline, and even physical health issues. Our minds and hearts thrive on interaction, shared laughter, and meaningful conversation. So, how do we gently reverse this trend and ensure we remain vibrantly connected to the world around us? It begins with making intentional efforts to connect, even small ones. Start by picking up the phone and calling a friend or family member you haven't spoken to in a while, just to say hello and see how they are. A 5-minute conversation can brighten both your days. Consider exploring local community centers, libraries, or senior groups. They often have wonderful programs, classes, or social events tailored to interests like yours, whether it's a book club, a walking group, or a craft circle. Even if you're shy, just showing up can open doors to new friendships and shared experiences. Volunteer work is another incredibly powerful way to combat isolation. Giving back to your community not only introduces you to new people, but also provides a sense of purpose and fulfillment that is deeply enriching. If getting out feels difficult, embrace technology. Video calls with loved ones who live far away can feel incredibly close and personal. Online interest groups or forums can connect you with people who share your passions, right from the comfort of your home. Most importantly, cultivate an approachable demeanor. A simple smile to a neighbor, a wave to someone you pass on the street, or a warm greeting at the grocery store can create tiny, positive ripples of connection throughout your day. Remember, you have a wealth of wisdom, humor, and warmth to share. Don't let yourself become a hidden treasure. The world wants and needs your presence, your stories, and your unique light. By actively nurturing your connections, you not only enrich your own life, but also generously contribute to the lives of those around you, fostering a vibrant, interconnected community where everyone flourishes. So, we've gently explored these 5 common, often unintentional, patterns that can sometimes emerge as we journey through our later years: the subtle shifts in personal presentation, the unintentional dominance or repetition in conversations, the tendency to fall into a rut of negativity, the resistance to new ideas or asking for help, and the quiet drift towards social isolation. These aren't criticisms, dear friends, but rather loving observations and invitations to consider how small, conscious adjustments can lead to profound improvements in your daily life and your relationships. Think of it not as fixing ugly things, but as polishing the beautiful gem that you are, allowing your unique brilliance to shine even brighter. It's about empowering yourself to feel more confident, more connected, and more joyful in every interaction. Remember, the journey of aging is not about shrinking your world or becoming less. It's about expanding, embracing, and living more fully. Each of these gentle adjustments, from choosing a fresh, comfortable outfit, to truly listening in conversations, to practicing daily gratitude, to embracing new learning, and actively nurturing your connections, is an act of self-love and an investment in your own happiness. You have so much wisdom, so much warmth, and so much life experience to share with the world. Don't let anything, even unconscious habits, diminish that incredible light within you. You are worthy of vibrant connections, continuous growth, and boundless joy. We all evolve, and with each passing year, we have the beautiful opportunity to refine who we are, to become even more authentically, gracefully, and vibrantly ourselves. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you noticed any of these patterns in yourself? Or perhaps in others? And what gentle ways have you found to navigate them? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your wisdom could be just the encouragement someone else needs. And if this video resonated with you, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. It truly helps us reach more beautiful souls who are looking to live their best lives at every age. Thank you for spending this time with me. Always remember, you are a treasure, and it is never too late to cultivate the most joyful, connected, and fulfilling life possible. Live your best life, vibrant and connected. At every age,